Yes, guys. Good evening, good afternoon. How is everyone's doing? I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to another show, guys. Big up to everyone here. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. All that beautiful stuff. But I hope you're all doing very well this afternoon. Yeah, we've got loads to talk about on this striker point, guys. Lots to jump into. So make sure you're hitting the like, hitting the share, hitting the subscribe, and all that good stuff. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of chat about. I've had some information as well, which we have to talk about as well. I've been told some few things that I've been told that I can tell you guys live today. So, when you work in this, what we're doing in this content creating world, you get a little bit of information every now and then. Sometimes it's bullshit, sometimes it's true, sometimes you got to take it with a pinch of salt, all that kind of stuff. But they said I can let you know in on it. I can give you the know-how. So, yeah, big up everyone. I hope everyone's doing good. It's Jamie Zappi, Oh, dear. No, leave the moustache alone, man. Big up my man Wayne in the chat as well. Leave the moustache alone, man. We'll go grow it all out, man. It's going to get thicker. It's going to get lovely, man. We're here for it. We're here for the tash. You know you are. You're here for the tash, guys. So let's talk. Napoli meeting Liverpool today during the Nunez talks. Hopefully. Let me know, Granny and Rush Moustache. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, leave the moustache alone, man. What are we doing here? Ah, dear. Big out man like in the chat as well. Yeah, so I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, I haven't been around over the weekend and that. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I didn't have the energy. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I didn't have the energy. I literally had zero energy the last few days. Even doing the watch along with Drifty last night and 80s Tash Talk. That is a great name, Ibo, for a show, man. Even doing the watch along with Drifty last night, obviously it was a lovely. I just weren't myself. I just didn't feel like I was. I was a bit tired, and I fell asleep early last night. I fell asleep like about 10:30 last night, which is unheard of for me. So I usually stay up in the early hours. So, and then I didn't wake up to 8 o'clock. So I obviously needed to sleep, but I feel refreshed now. I feel ready to go, ready to do a show and talk about some Liverpool news for everybody. So we're going to get on it right now. Big up Razza in the chat. Big up everyone in the chat. Hope you're all doing good. And much love to you all. We're going to get on with the striker info in a little bit. But let's talk about, obviously, the game last night. Liverpool played yesterday. First game back into pre-season. The first football game Liverpool played since, obviously, the Diogo Jota. After what happened with Diogo Jota, unfortunately passing and losing his life to a tragic accident. And Liverpool played their first game since, and you could tell the players were extremely upset, but still by everything. And as you expect, it's still raw. They're still grieving. I thought the fan base from Preston and Liverpool yesterday were fantastic. Big up to Preston as well, to the fans at Preston at Deepdale as well, because I thought they were fantastic yesterday as well. It was a beautiful celebration. And that is all I thought about the game, really. Look, the game was the game. I thought some of the players looked up for it already. I think Szoboszlai and Gakpo and players like that already look ready to go. They look fresh. They look hungry. I thought young Rio, look, he's only 17 years of. I believe he'll be 17 in a week's time, if the commentary said. He's not 17 yet, and he looks very good. I will say this about young Rio. I would send him on loan for a year. I'd send him on loan for a year. Isak for a free? Doesn't Isak have quite a few years left in his contract? No. I meant free to come to Liverpool. Gang and deep. Free to come to Liverpool. That's what I should have put in. Did I put that? Isak is free for Liverpool. Yeah, free for Liverpool to go and get him, not a free. Yeah. Hang on, what did I put in the title? Liverpool hunting for a new striker. Ekitike is now Newcastle's top target. Isak's free for Liverpool. I should have put quotations. That's what I should have put. Yeah, there's players there that is not ready for me still right now. Trainee only's not ready. Rio's not ready. And Ben Doak's not ready. They all need a year loan, play a year of professional football in the men's game. No more under 23s for them. No more under 23s for them. Or under 21s or whatever the fucking youth team is called now. I don't want to see them there. They need to go now and play man's football in a good league, even if it's a championship or going abroad. I need them to go and play in the men's football for a year before we promote them to the top, to the main squad. There's question marks still about Ben Doak. I don't think he's going to be that guy. That's just me. I think if Liverpool get a good offer, then I think Liverpool will sell Ben Doak personally. Be up my man Scraps in the house. Trey, I look at Trey and I think he's 18 now, I believe. I think he's an adult now. He's 18 years of age. I want Trey to go out and play a year's loan in the championship or something like that. I think he's got so much potential as Trey that I think in a year's time, you know, if he plays football for a year in the championship or something like that, I think you've got a baller there. There's no doubt about that. He's got a certain skill set. But for me, he just needs that year. What is my kids doing? Hey, shut up. He needs a year to just, you know, mature a little bit in the men's game for me. And then we've got an absolute superstar there in Trey, in my opinion. And then, obviously, with Rio, as I keep saying, this kid's special. You can smell it, you can see it. He's special, he's talented. There's part of his game still that he needs to learn because he's only a kid, man. You know, this is a young guy, right? But we got a special talent there. Oh my God, what are my kids doing? Guys, quiet. Oh, I'm going to get the slipper out. Yeah, Trey's a special talent, man. Trey's a special talent, and so's Rio. And I just feel like a year. Give Rio a year. I think it's not 17 until next week. Give him a year in a championship or something like that. Let him flourish for a year. And then they're going to be superstars. For me, Trey and Rio, out of all the youth players that Liverpool got right now, the McConnells, the Stevensons, the Jadon Dans, I think Trey and Rio are my kids, man. They're doing my head in. Trey and Rio are the highest at class at the moment for me. They're the two. I think Ben Doak's there to be sold. I really do. I know there's a lot of people that like Ben Doak, but I think Liverpool get a good fee for Ben Doak. They're selling. I honestly believe that. But with Trey and Rio, I think they're Liverpool future. I think they're Liverpool future. But yeah, I think they'll be here. Trust me. Give them a year or two. No rush, man. Savage in it, bro. Jamie, bro, not sure what's going on with Kamer, but he's still being a clown and being cheeky over chat. You better sort him out in it. Also, tell him to stop begging it out for members. It's embarrassing. Saw his apology, but he can F off now. Okay. Look, I'm not quite sure what Savage in it, bro, what you're chatting about, my friend. Hope you're good, Lo. It's not the actual Savage, is it? I don't know. I don't know. See, I have no idea, man. Is this the Over the Ends video when him and Savage had a falling out? Is that what it is? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. At the end of the day, look, K-Mac's a 40-odd-year-old man who can, you know, it's his life, does what he wants. I can't make him not do things. Do you know what I mean? I can't make him not do things. It's a grown man, man. K-Mac's a grown man. He can do what he wants. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not his, you know. That's thrown me a little bit. All right, let's move on. Thank you very much for your comment, but yeah, I appreciate the comment, though. But as I said, K-Mac's a grown man, man. He's, he can do what he wants. But yeah, with Rio, I don't know how you guys feel about Rio. Does he need a year loan? Big up Colin in the chat. Does he need a year loan? What does he need? Let me know in the chat. Does Rio need a year out? Just to mature a little bit? Or would you think Rio would actually be better? Let me know in the chat, guys. Would Rio actually be better staying at Liverpool and training with the first team? Or would he be better going out on loan to a championship club? Let me know in the chat what you guys think. Rio, stay in the first team and train, or go to a championship club for a year just to get a loan. Big up Lauren in the chat as well. I hope you're doing well, Lauren. Too early for a loan, in my opinion. It's going to be 17. It's going to be 17, I believe, next week, I believe. So I don't know. I would say a championship loan. We got a good thing with Blackburn, haven't we? We got a good relationship with Blackburn. Got a good relationship with Blackburn. Yeah, physically, Rio looks fine. Pace-wise, dribbling. Do you know what it is with Rio? It's his final decision on what he's going to do with the ball. That's where he needs to learn a little bit. Because it's all right dribbling past people and looking good and all that, but you need to have that final thing in your game, don't you? A cross, a pass, a shot, a goal. Yeah, something like that just to mature his game. Or does he stay at Liverpool and just learn, like Lauren said in the chat just now, just learn and flourish under us in training? I think it's his decision-making. He needs to learn his decision-making a little bit better. I'll tell you what, if Rio's decision-making can go up a level with his dribbling, his physicality and his pace, he's going to be a superstar. Liverpool got an absolute baller on their hands. Don't worry, guys. Rio's a young guy. He's a young guy. And he's going to be, in the years to come, he is going to be absolutely a diamond. We've got a heck of a player on our hands. Apparently, he's going to sign a new contract at Liverpool as well, which would be easier and better for us. And, yeah, man. Big up my man Eddie in the chat. Been a member for 27 months. Big up Eddie. If my mouse lets me press anything. Big up my man. He says, I wish people would not keep on about Isak. Sorry, Eddie. We're going to talk about Isak today. I do apologise, man. But it's only because stuff has come out in the press. That's why we're going to chat about it. Lauren says, there's a moment in the first half where he tried to do the half-in by dribbling and carry the ball. Then he lost it in the build-up. Yeah, learn. Exactly. That's all he needs to learn on. And sometimes, do you know how you learn on that? Playing football. Playing football is how you learn. And that's why I'm saying, would it be best for him? Because I think he's too good for the under-21s, the under-23s, whatever you call it these days, the reserves. I think he's too good for that level, personally. Maybe he needs to go and play professional football at a higher level, maybe the championship or something like that, playing on a regular and maybe learning them skills as he's playing. Because he's a quality player. He's a quality footballer. And I can't actually believe Chelsea let him go. I really can't. He's a superb footballer. And we're lucky, man. And it's the same with Trey. Big up, my man. It's the same with Trey, man. Trey's Leone's a good footballer as well, man. You can tell he's got a lot to his game. He's more of that sitting kind of midfielder for me, more than an attack-minded midfielder. I see him more of like a sit-in, like a Gravenberch. That's how I see him, like a young Gravenberch. With Trey being 18 now, I would say go and learn your game in another league for a year, for a chat. I think Trey now needs to go and make that next step if he wants to become a main squad player at Liverpool, because I think Trey in the years to come could be that talent that Liverpool can save a lot of money on in that midfield area in the years to come. I really do. I think he's got all the hallmarks of a superb sitting midfielder for me. He receives the ball extremely well. He carries the ball well. He can play off the back foot as well, which not a lot of footballers can. He can control it and pass it off the back foot, which is a skill not a lot of, of our midfielders have right now in our main team. I see him like that young Grav. He can drop the shoulder. He can turn on the spin. I think I think in another year's time we could be looking at Trey, maybe next year, 2026, the summer of 26, that Trey makes his way into the first team. I really can see that if he has a good year on loan, maybe. If not, in the club, the club could feel like he's ready now and they put him in the first team squad. If that's something they want to do and they put him in the first team squad, I'm here for it. I hear it. But for me personally, I'd like to see him go out and play a little bit more. But you can see the skills he's got, man. Great little player. I've got some good young players there in the academy coming through. Stevenson, I thought Stevenson had a pretty decent game yesterday. The centre back, I believe he's how old Stevenson now? About 20, 21 years of age, I believe. Man's fully ginger as well. Big up to him, man. Ginger hair, ginger beard, respecting the gingers. Love it. But he looked decent. He looked composed at the back. Again, Liverpool got a good player there. What do they do with him, Lowe? Do they think he's the future at Liverpool? Do they think he's got a chance at Liverpool? I'm not sure. Maybe that's one we got to look at on. And fuck me, it's Ted Lasso. We don't, Adam. Do we just let him go on loan? Another one. Again, Gravenberch. Oh, man, Gravenberch. People have got to stop thinking that Gravenberch isn't a defensive midfielder. Yeah, he did have a good... I believe, Malcolm, wasn't Stevenson the player of the year for Dundee? Is that correct? So I know he had a great year with Dundee. I believe he was player of the year. I might be wrong there. He might have been player of the year. Again, another year's loan, maybe. Maybe this time the Championship, go up a level, see if there's anyone in the Championship or maybe League One that would take him for a year's loan. I can see it happening. I can see it happening. But yeah, Grav, man. Grav. At this moment in time, he's the DM that Liverpool want. He's not a destroyer. He's not that kind of defensive midfielder. He's a ball-carrying defensive midfielder. He's a defensive midfielder who can play it through the lines, yeah? That turn he did yesterday, yeah, that is almost his main... That's like his move now, ain't it? Where he drops a shoulder and just turns, and then he carries the ball into in attacking areas of the pitch, then gives off a simple pass. So I want Gravenberch to do. I don't want Gravenberch to be doing the McAllister stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't need McAllister. I don't need Gravenberch to do that. All I need Gravenberch to do, drop that shoulder, do them turns, run into the attacking space on the pitch, and then give a simple pass. That's all I need Grav to do because it opens up the whole game. Because of Gravenberch's ball running ability, I don't need Gravenberch to be this amazing passer of the ball. I really don't. He doesn't need to be because of his running ability with the ball. His running ability with the ball helps the team, because he runs into that space. He runs into the attacking areas of the pitch. And once you run into them attacking areas of the pitch and you run into that space, that you only have to give a simple ball out because you've got your Salahs there. You might have a Szoboszlai there next to you. You might have a Diaz or a Gakpo out on the left-hand side next to you. So there's simple balls to give and then give it to them and let them do their thing. That's all I need Gravenberch to do. I don't need him to see him doing 50-yard, diagonals or stuff like that. That's not his game. Let Gravenberch do what he's good at, man. Let him do what he's good at. They live back. Big up, man. Jamie, I'm sick of people saying PSG is the best team in Europe. It's not true. Whoever wins the Premier League is the best team. That's us, the mighty Reds. Big up, they live, man. I love that. Big up you, my friend. PSG got smashed up. And by the way, if anyone's been watching me on Big Up with Drifty for the last few weeks, I've been telling everyone for the last few weeks, Chelsea will win the World Club Cup. And if they play PSG, they'll beat them up. Because as good as PSG are and as good as their midfield are, if you can be aggressive and athletic and powerful against them, you'll beat them. So, yeah. Yeah, big up Chelsea, man. I don't care about Chelsea winning the World Club Cup. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm a Liverpool fan and we win things, yeah. If I was an Arsenal fan today, I'd be a bit pissed off because they're your main rivals, yeah. Chelsea, I'm good, man. Don't care. Honestly, don't care. Arsenal fans, yeah, you're in the mud. Chelsea. You can't let Chelsea keep winning things and then keep saying you're a bigger club than Chelsea, because eventually it's not going to be true. If you keep letting Chelsea just win shit, and then you're buying their worst players, giving them clean money, yeah, right. You got dirty money, all right. You want some clean money, okay? Give us all your shit players, and we give you too much money, and then you go and buy better players. And by the way, João Pedro, like I've been telling everyone for ages, João Pedro is a baller. Yeah, he's a baller. Yeah, because he didn't do it at Brighton because he was playing with scruffs. Yeah, João Pedro's a baller, man. I actually enjoyed seeing PSG get destroyed. I ain't gonna lie, man. I actually destroyed it. We should have beaten PSG in the second leg in our game. We should have scored 3 goals in the opening 20 minutes. Everyone forgets that. We won the first leg. We should have won the first leg. I'm just pointing that out. But in the second leg, we should have scored 3 goals in the first 20 minutes. Salah was clean through, put it wide. We fucked up loads of chances. Yeah, so yeah, fuck PSG, man. Fuck them. But yeah, like Liverpool, it was a nice little game yesterday for us. Nice warm up. The celebration of Jota's life at the end was a beautiful thing. The fans singing, the team just standing there applauding the fans, then singing Jota's songs all match, by the way. All game. Absolutely beautiful. And to the Preston fans, I'll say thank you very much as well, because I thought them Preston fans at Deepdale yesterday were tremendous. So big W for the Preston fans, guys, because I thought they were a touch of class as well, man. Touch of class. And the end was emotional. I ain't gonna lie, I sat there crying. The end of the game, I sat there crying, man. It was emotional. The 2 commentators, if you was watching it on Liverpool TV, you would have heard the 2 commentators crying as well when they're at the end of the game. It was an emotional scene, and I think the players needed that game, man. I think they needed that game, and Preston, yeah, big ups to them, man. Lovely fan base over in Preston, man. W's to Preston fans, definitely. And Liverpool move on now in their pre-season training. We're off to Asia, I believe. It's the end of the week, is it? We're off to Asia. Obviously, we've got 3 games over in Asia. And then we come back for a game at Anfield. And then it's the Charity Shield or Community Shield, whatever you call it these days. And the season starts. And we're off. I will say, though, Kostas looked absolutely heartbroken. And Mo Salah, I don't know if you guys saw it most of the game. But Mo Salah looked heartbroken, man. Big up Stabby Live in the chat. Mo Salah looked absolutely heartbroken. He looks proper gone. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously affecting him more than even I realise. But yeah, I think the club need this. I think going out to Asia to as a group of the group together, the lads together, I think they need this, and I think they needed that game yesterday. And now I believe playing that game was the right thing to do. Watching that game back now and seeing the boys and all that, I don't know about you guys in the chat, but I do believe it was the right thing to do, and it got it all out of their system. It's something they wanted. I think it's something they wanted to do to get everything out of their system and all the emotion and the grieving, and they needed that game. So I appreciate them, man. I love them. I ain't gonna lie, man. I love them guys. I don't care what anyone says. I love our football club, man. We are the classiest and most emotional, best club in the world. I don't care what anyone says, man. I really don't give a shit. If anyone comes to, I don't care. Show me a more Class C club than Liverpool Football Club. You won't find one. Beautiful football club. Lovely fans. Beautiful manager. Arne Slot. Can we just take one moment, man? Can we take one moment to talk about our manager, Arne Slot? Big up, Royal. Arne Slot, since that Jota incident, has been perfection. It really has. The way he speaks, the way he's acted through this incident, the way he talks to us through press conferences and interviews, the way he talks to everybody. The man's. We lucked out, man. That's all I'm going to say. You know, we lucked out with Arne Slot. Do you know what I'm saying? We lucked out with Arne Slot. So I love Arne Slot, man. So big up Arne Slot, man. Negotiations with Newcastle and Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike remained underway, as revealed last week. From today's talks between all parties involved are ongoing to discuss financial package for both clubs and players' side. Yeah, his interview, man. His interview is beautiful. Arne Slot's interview is beautiful. We went from Jurgen Klopp to Arne Slot. I mean, my plaque. Yeah, I got that for Father's Day. I got that for Father's Day for my kids. My kids got me that for Father's Day, man. Mwah. Love it. Appreciate it. It's not my birthday yet. My birthday's in 3 weeks. Oh, God, I'll be 44 in 3 weeks, man. Do you know how painful that is? Yeah, the Shankly link between Preston and Liverpool. Yeah, but Arne Slot, man, we couldn't have lucked out anymore. We went from Jurgen Klopp, absolute gaffer, gentleman, superstar manager, and then we got Arne Slot, who's just like him again. Maybe a little less rock and roll, little bit less heavy metal than what Jurgen is, personality-wise. But yeah, I love Arne Slot, man. I think he's tremendous at what he does. Tremendous. Right, let's talk about transfer news. Because this Newcastle, Liverpool, Ekitike, and bloody Isak story, it's not going away. So, Newcastle apparently are really now pushing for Ekitike. They're really pushing, man. Yeah, my birthday's the 2nd of August. I'll be doing a birthday stream on my birthday, so everyone know when my birthday is. There's no point hiding it. It's 2nd of August, yeah. Birthday stream will happen. We will be drunk while we're doing streaming, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. So, Ekitike to Newcastle looks like something that can happen, and looks like it might happen. As we see here, Florent Plettenberg say today, Newcastle will open up concrete talks with the camp of Hugo Ekitike and are trying to reach a verbal agreement now. Talks today on site. They want Ekitike badly. Ekitike is going to cost £60 million. Yeah, probably up to towards 65 million quid. Not euros, £65 million. It's going to be an expensive bit transfer. Now, from a Newcastle point of view, the talk about this is that Newcastle believe they want to play Ekitike and Isak together as a two up top. Now, I want to know how, personally, because I don't think Newcastle can afford to play two through the middle with the way Eddie Howe likes to play football. If they're going to play three at the back, I just don't see Anthony Gordon and Elanga being wing backs. I mean, Anthony Elanga can maybe do it, but Anthony Gordon being a wing back makes no sense. You got Murphy there as well. Don't really want to play a wing back role. Who's the other guy who plays instead of Anthony Gordon at times? Can't remember his name right now off the top of my head. Is it Brooks? He doesn't want to be a wing back either. So playing three at the back, I don't know if they've got enough centre backs to do that. It's an interesting one how they go and do it with that scenario. Unless they get Ekitike and they're thinking, yeah, maybe Ekitike can drift off to the left. You know, he can drift off to the left a little bit. Instead of playing a left winger, they play Ekitike left wing. I know he don't really play left wings, only played there a handful of times, really. But it's like not left wing on paper. You know, he inverts a little bit. Oh, Ashley Barnes, that's it. Big up, guys. You know, he inverts a little bit, but then you've got Barnes and you've got Gordon who play on the left-hand side. They're not going anywhere. So to play 4-2-2, you're going to have Bruno and Tonali as your midfield two. And then Isak and Ekitike as the other two. Ekitike does naturally drop a little bit deeper than Isak does, so he can drop deep and drift to the left a little bit. But defensively, it just makes them a lot worse, you know, defensively. So, look, I'm not sure how they go do it. But obviously, with Ekitike looking like he's going to Newcastle, everyone thought Liverpool would go get Ekitike. I thought Liverpool would go get Ekitike. Elanga, that's it, Bob. Big up. They just bought Elanga, for goodness sake. So he's going to play. They pay 55 million quid for him. So he's going to play off that right-hand side, ain't he? It's an interesting way to go play Newcastle. Now, I don't know how Newcastle are going to pull it off. I mean, but obviously this news has awoken the Liverpool fan base and Liverpool journalists to look into this sort of thing because, you know, everyone's like, well, if he's going to Newcastle for so much money, that's going to be, it could arguably be a record transfer for Newcastle. Could be up towards 70 million quid. I don't know how much Frankfurt want for him right now. As Lauren says, no one spends that much money on a backup striker. They don't. He's going to play games. It's a lot of money. You know, when you just spent £55 million on Elanga as well, gave Gordon a brand new contract. It's interesting what they're going to do. Before we carry on, let me just, because this just popped up. Big up to Jen in the house, has been a member for 20 months. Much love. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. Evening, everyone here. Big up my man. Big up my man. Hope you're doing well. You want 86 million. 86 million is a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money. And here's the thing, right? If Newcastle, let's say Newcastle keep Isak, yeah, and they've got Elanga, and they've got Gordon, and they get Ekitike, Newcastle could be a threat to a lot of teams next season, an extreme threat. And Liverpool haven't got a striker. So obviously the Liverpool media and Liverpool fans were all putting 2 and 2 together and trying to get 4, yeah. So Liverpool fans, and me included, I ain't going to lie on this, I'm looking at it now and thinking, how does this work? I know how Eddie Howe likes to play. Eddie Howe likes to be, you know, defensively minded with an attacking process. He likes to sit back a little bit in games at times, be defensively solid through the midfield, and then use his quick players on counter attack. That's how Eddie Howe likes to play. Eddie Howe doesn't like to go into games winning them 4-3 and 5-2 and things like that. He wants to try and keep clean sheets and be hard to beat. That's what he likes. He doesn't like Newcastle getting rolled over a lot. For me, if Newcastle was sacrificing a midfielder for a striker next summer, for next season, I think Newcastle going to struggle. I don't think Tonali and Bruno. I think Tonali and Bruno's going to struggle because you can't ask both of them just to sit there. Because if Tonali and Bruno play, they can't just sit there. One of them's have to go get forward to help out with the attack. He's going to have to help out with the attack. So once he does that, they're going to leave a lot of gaps through their midfield that people can play around. So I just don't see Eddie Howe doing that. I really don't. So that's got a lot of Liverpool fans thinking, is Isak available now? Right. Let's go on the march that Isak's available. We're getting different information. So I read some information yesterday from another Newcastle journalist, I believe for the Chronicle, up in Newcastle. And he said yesterday he's a little concerned because he doesn't believe Newcastle. He doesn't believe Newcastle are going to be playing Ekitike and Isak together. And he believes it doesn't make no sense going after Ekitike if you've got Isak there. So he's saying he's a little bit concerned now that Isak might be making that leave for Liverpool this summer with Ekitike coming through the door. Before I carry on, Noor says super agent Al Barra is currently in Newcastle to finalise the Ekitike deal around €80 million for the French striker from Frankfurt who had a great league season last year. This is coming from ESPN. So €80 million is what? About 65 million quid, yeah? So 65 million quid. That is what Newcastle going to spend on him, yeah? 65 million pound is a lot of money, guys, for a striker who's not going to be your main striker. Hang on, more news coming out. See, this is all happening now. This is all happening. Newcastle winger Anthony Gordon has been linked with a potential move to Liverpool. Right. So this is what I was trying to say. So I'm going to let everyone into a little secret that I was told today that's going to break a lot of people's hearts right now. Right? This might break a lot of people's hearts right now. What I got told today. This is from a source that I got told about. I don't know if I believe it totally, but he's told me a few things before that were actually correct, that came true. Does everyone remember when I was live that time with the Coppish guys and that, and I had to stop the video halfway through because I just got a phone call, and on that phone call he told me that Liverpool have just been put up for sale, and then 3 or 4 days later David Ornstein brought out the bomber, on social media saying that FSG put Liverpool up for sale, and then it never happened. It never came true because FSG didn't sell. Well, it's that same guy, and what he's told me is that Isak is not going to Liverpool. Isak is not going to Liverpool, and if there's a player that Liverpool are going to buy from Newcastle, it's going to be Anthony Gordon. That is what I've been told. I've also been told this. Again, take all this with a pinch of salt. Yeah, I hope it's not true, but this is what I've been told. So don't share. I'm just a messenger here. I don't know this for fact. I just got told this afternoon, and I'm letting you guys know. So don't come shoot the messenger, yeah? So he believes, what he's told me is that Liverpool want Anthony Gordon. They believe Luis Diaz will leave this summer, and they want Anthony Gordon. Richard Hughes is a massive fan of Benjamin Sesko. That's all Richard Hughes is a massive fan of Benjamin Sesko. That is why in the last 24 hours you've seen a lot of news surrounding Benjamin Sesko and Liverpool. I don't know if you guys are aware that Benjamin Sesko took a video of himself watching the Liverpool game and then followed Liverpool on Instagram and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, Richard Hughes believes that Sesko could be a quality striker in the years to come. He thinks he can be the next big thing. Now, look, I haven't watched a lot of Benjamin Sesko, yeah, but I don't think Benjamin Sesko, this dead player that everyone says he is. You know, a lot of people thought João Pedro was a dead player, yeah. I saw Liverpool fans last season when we were talking about João Pedro, yeah. Everyone was like, no, João Pedro's a dead player. He's not that good. He only got like 5 goals for Brighton and all that. And then I see a lot of people talking about João Pedro today going, yeah, Liverpool missed the boat with João Pedro. Some players are better than people think, yeah? Some players are better than some people think they are. And, you know, I'm not saying Benjamin Sesko's my idea of a striker. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that he might be better than we all give him credit for. I think people have gone very quickly with the Benjamin Sesko hate. But yeah, I don't look. I'm hoping this is not the case. Again, this isn't me. This is my friend who told me this, and he got some information and he just passed it on. And he said, I can pass it on to you guys. If you want to hear my take on all this, so my take on it all is that I believe Benjamin's... Look, let's look at it, yeah? Liverpool have not made an offer for Ekitike. For the last few weeks, everyone's been telling us that Liverpool are in for Ekitike. Fabrizio, David Ornstein, all these guys have said Liverpool and Ekitike is the one. If they can't get Isak, they're going to go to Ekitike, yeah? They're going to go to Ekitike, right? That's all we've been hearing, right? But Liverpool haven't made their move for Ekitike. Now we're hearing that Newcastle are literally sitting down with Ekitike and his people today to do a transfer for Ekitike. Right now, if you're putting money on it, it looks like Ekitike is on his way to Newcastle. So for all these weeks, Liverpool being linked with Ekitike, he's going to Newcastle now by the look of it. Why haven't Liverpool gone and bid for Ekitike? Why haven't Liverpool gone and made that bid for Ekitike if, according to all the media, he's the one we wanted? You know what I mean? So, Ekitike looked like he ain't happening. Liverpool haven't made up a bid for Osherman yet. Big up Vel in the chat. We haven't gone for Osherman. Why aren't we going for Osherman? Actually, here's a bigger take. Why is no big club going for Osherman? Look at all the teams that need a striker. No one's touching Osherman. You know, Chelsea decided to go for Pedro and Delap. Man United have gone for Cunha. City went for Mamouche last January. Why is no one going for Osherman? I don't know the issue there. Osherman's a goal scorer. I'd have Osherman. I like Osherman. I think Osherman's a good striker. But no, Liverpool did go after Kudos. Who do Liverpool actually want up front? Like, who do we actually want up front, guys? Who are Liverpool looking at to be that leader up front, that number 9 for the next few years? Remember, the number 9 that Liverpool go by is the number 9 that's going to play for a few years under Arne Slot. He's going to be Arne Slot's main striker. So, they lose 2 options right now on the table. Well, there's 3 options on the table right now. You've got Benjamin Sesko, yeah, because he's not actually linked to anyone now but Liverpool. Look at other teams. Chelsea got their strikers. Newcastle look like they're about to buy Ekitike, yeah. Man United have got Cunha. Arsenal are about to buy Gyökeres. So, or just bought Gyökeres. So the striker, so there's, Liverpool haven't gone for any of them. Liverpool haven't gone for Gyökeres. Liverpool look like they haven't gone for Ekitike. Liverpool didn't go for João Pedro. Liverpool didn't go for Delap. Liverpool look like they're not going for Osherman. Why are they not going for them players? Why are Liverpool not looking at them strikers? There must be a reason. They're looking at some strikers and they must be looking at Alexander Isak, Sesko. They're the ones. And they're the 2. It does make sense if you think about it. Big up Punjabi Firmino says Sesko's a better finisher than Ekitike. I rate him. Yeah, Sesko's not as bad as everyone thinks he is. Like Lauren says, we're being too quiet about our strikers. I think Liverpool already know what strikers they've been wanting to go for a long time now. I don't know about you guys in the chat. There's always talk. Liverpool are looking at this player. Liverpool are looking at that player. Liverpool are chatting to that player. Today, Liverpool have been apparently talking to Nkunku from Chelsea as a Jota replacement. Not as a first choice replacement, but as a Jota replacement. Again, everyone in the chat, how would you feel about that? Because we probably do need two strikers. How would you feel about if Liverpool got Nkunku in as a possible Jota replacement next season? We can possibly get him for around 30 million quid. It's going to be easy to get. It's going to be easy to get because, you know, Chelsea have just got two new strikers in the door. So, what would you feel about that? It's been linked today. There's been a lot of rumours today about Nkunku going to Liverpool. Maybe they're looking at him as a backup. Mateta's also been linked today as well. I think they're more... look, I think Nkunku and Mateta, if they were being bought, I think they would be brought in as backup strikers, not first-choice strikers. Like, Mateta's almost 28 years of age, and he's a bit of a... I like Mateta, but I do think he's a bit of a purple patch striker. And he does get his injuries, but I think he's a bit of a purple patch striker. And then Nkunku, if you look at what Arne Slot says he wants as a striker, you know, a link-up striker, a striker that can link up and score goals, you know, and carry the ball and all that sort of stuff. And Nkunku is probably a striker that Liverpool would be interested in because of them reasons. Obviously, he's had injuries and all that, but I think he'd be a backup striker. I look at Mateta and Nkunku as backup strikers. I don't look at them as first choice, you know, strikers for Liverpool for the years to come. Remember, Liverpool are after a number 9, guys. That's going to be their main number 9 for at least the next 2 or 3 seasons. Does anyone legitimately see Nkunku or Mateta being Liverpool's number 9 for the next 3 seasons? Probably not. But you could see him as a backup, yeah? You could see him as a backup striker, playing the odd game here and there. That's fine. That's good backup rotation, right? I think... So I'm going to go away from what my mate told me, yeah? So again, my mate told me all this today about Liverpool not going to go for Isak now. They're going to go for Anthony Gordon, right? And then I think Scraps brought out a comment where Ben Jacobs said, like, Liverpool are looking now at Anthony Gordon from Newcastle. Here's my take on it. Forget what my mate told me to tell you guys. Hang on. Here you go. Newcastle submitted an official bid today for Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike, a proposal higher than 70 million previously offered by another club this summer. There you go. I'm telling you guys. So here's my take on it all. I believe Liverpool will still get Isak. This is my... take what I just said away, because that was just my friend telling me to tell you lot, yeah? Here's my personal opinion. I believe we'll still buy Alexander Isak. There is no chance in hell for me. You've got to remember, Benjamin Sesko is going to cost you around 80 to 90 million quid, yeah? Liverpool are not going to spend 80 to 90 million quid on Benjamin Sesko when they can get Isak for probably 130 million. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to me. The only thing I can see, and I don't want this to happen, yeah? I can see Liverpool, instead of spending 130 to 140 million on one striker in Alexander Isak, I can see Liverpool, because this is Liverpool, this is what we do, I can see us actually going and getting Sesko and then Nkunku together for about 130 million. So you're getting Nkunku and a Sesko for 130 million. So you got two striker. Yeah, you got two strikers. So you got your first choice striker and your backup striker. Or you go and get Isak for 130 million, but then you probably don't get a backup striker unless you use someone like Luis Diaz if he stays at the football club. What do you guys think we do? Let me know in the chat. What striker do you think we're going to go for? Because I think some of you guys have already said it in the chat already. You know, all the other strikers are off. It looks like Ekitike's going to go to Newcastle. They've just got to work out the negotiations, yeah? So it looks like Ekitike's off to Newcastle. Gyökeres has gone to Arsenal. The two other strikers that Liverpool are looking at have gone to Chelsea. Cunha's gone to Man United. Who else is out there? Lewis Openda? Yeah, could do. Lauren says Newcastle submitted a bid. You got Isak, Mateta, Nkunku and Sesko. They're the four. Now, what are Liverpool going to do? Do Liverpool just go, you know what? We're going to spunk all our money just on Isak? Do Liverpool spunk all their money on Isak? Or do they go out of the three? Do they go Mateta? Do Liverpool go Mateta and that's what I would do. Mateta and Sesko, because Mateta and Sesko will probably cost you the same amount of money as one Alexander Isak if they can't get hold of Isak. Because we have to remember, Jota passed away. Jota died, unfortunately, in that tragic accident. It does leave us one striker short. If we sell Darwin Nunez, which I believe we will, we have no strikers, guys. None. But Liverpool could look at it and go, let's get Mateta in and let's get Sesko in. And they're our two strikers. We've got Mateta and Sesko next season. That's two strikers. And instead of buying Isak, you're spending 130 million on two strikers. So you've got a starter and a backup. If you buy Isak, we've still only got one striker. Or you play a Diaz. If Diaz stays at Liverpool, you play him as another number 9 if Isak ain't available. Or you play Cody Gakpo in another number 9 position. This is interesting stuff. Big up my man, Eddie. Big up the Super Chat, Eddie. I don't care who we get as long as it's not Isak. Yeah, my man Eddie's not a big fan of Isak. He believes injuries, I believe, is a problem. I think Eddie said last week on the show. Mateta's a baller. Can we? No, I think Darwin's gone, man. No matter how well Darwin played, I think Darwin's gone. Lauren is saying here, Newcastle submitted an official bid today, 70 million. It says for Fabrizio, 70 million euros, which is not enough money. Frankfurt want £86 million for Hugo Ekitike. They want him to play with Alexander Isak up front. They want him to play with Isak up front, says Sky Sports. This is the thing. What if that is the case and Liverpool cannot buy? If Liverpool cannot buy Isak this summer, guys, we could be looking at a Sesko Mateta kind of thing. A Sesko Mateta. That could be the two we go for, man. But I will say though, guys, the reporters from Sky Sports are arguably the worst reporters I've ever seen in my life. So who is it? Who's that Sky Sports journalist who's meant to be their number one journalist, yeah? Who told us that we weren't in for Verts? Do you remember that? He actually went live on Sky Sports News. It was the same guy who slagged off Jurgen Klopp about the World Club Cup. He literally went live on Sky Sports News that afternoon and went, as far as I've known, yeah, the information I received, Liverpool are not in for Verts or anything like that. So We haven't bid for Liverpool have never made a bid for Ekitike, as I know, man. Liverpool have never made a bid for Ekitike, as far as I know. Jamie, if Ekitike joins, there is no way Isak stays. Yeah, I mean, could be right, man. You could be right. It's gamble time. Newcastle win. Anthony Gordon has been linked with a potential move to Liverpool, says Ben Jacobs. Oh, shit. Do you imagine if we went to Newcastle and didn't buy Isak? Do you know the problem? Here's the problem here, guys. Here's the problem. How much is Anthony Gordon going to cost, guys? Everyone in chat, how much is Anthony Gordon going to cost? On a serious note, he's just signed a new contract. How much would Anthony Gordon actually cost Liverpool? Big up Punjabi Firmino again on the suit. Says Sesko break Rush's record. Said it here for big up Punjabi Firmino. That is a lot of love, man, for Sesko. I'm not sure on that because not even Salah's going to break it. But if he done, I'd love that, man. How much would he cost? What are you guys saying? 70, 60, 90, 80, 100 million? I'm telling you, I think Anthony Gordon would cost over 80 million quid. Yeah. I think you're looking around 80 million, 85 million as a minimum for Anthony Gordon. Now, if Liverpool can afford to go and buy Anthony Gordon for 80 to 85 million and still have to buy a striker, this is what I'm trying to say. Nothing makes sense right now. Nothing really makes that much sense right now. We're trying to work it all out. Big up, my friend. Big up. We're trying to work all this out. I'm really trying to. Let's sit here and work it out, guys. Let's have a chat. Let's work this out. Liverpool, if you've just coming in now, big up to everyone just coming in. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We're almost on 400 people in the house here, so make sure you're hitting that like button. We want close to 200 likes, surely. I don't know what we're on, but there's almost 400 people in the house. We should be on 100 likes easily. So make sure you're hitting that like button. 123 likes. Big up everyone hitting the like button. Let's get to 200 likes because we've always got 400 people in here. Let's keep it rolling here. Let's keep it rolling. So let's talk figures here. Let's talk players that Liverpool might be looking after. So we know Ekitike looks like he could go to Newcastle. Newcastle have already put an official offer for him, but there's room for negotiation there. Newcastle want him badly. All the other strikers have moved. As we said, Cunha, Man United, Gyökeres, Arsenal, Pedro and Delap have gone Chelsea. So strikers have already made their movement in this summer window. Anthony Gordon is someone Liverpool have liked for a long time. A long time. Tried to get him last year. Let's not forget this year. Liverpool tried to get Anthony Gordon last summer, right, and almost got him. In fact, Liverpool were so close to get Anthony Gordon last summer. While they're on training for England for the Euros, Anthony Gordon was telling everyone at England training that he was going to Liverpool. That's how close Liverpool came to buying Anthony Gordon last summer. So Liverpool like him, yeah? If Liverpool go in for Anthony Gordon again this summer, it's going to cost over 80 million quid easy, right? That's without a sale of Diaz or Nunez and all that so far. Liverpool, if they sell Darwin Nunez, which I think they will, I think Liverpool would do a deal. I read some stuff today. Darwin Nunez wants Napoli, but he's also, if he doesn't go to Napoli, he's still interested in going to Saudi. There's bids there for him. Liverpool do not want to keep Darwin. I know a lot of people were like, because of his performance yesterday, everyone's like, keep Darwin. The manager don't rate Darwin as highly as some fans do. Darwin is leaving the football club, yeah? Liverpool are looking for the right money. They're hoping Napoli comes with a better offer this time and he'll go. No problem. I think Darwin still leads this summer. It leaves Liverpool with 0 strikers, guys. None. Zip. 0. Yeah? Why are Liverpool going in the market for Anthony Gordon for 80 odd million quid when we have no strikers? The first thing Liverpool need to do is buy a striker. Even with Darwin still at the football club, Liverpool need to buy a striker. They need to. Even if Darwin's here. We've got 2 left wingers at this moment in time. You know, Diaz and Gakpo are still at the football club, yeah? So we've still got 2 left wingers. Frankie says Gordon has a clause in his contract, 60 million. You heard it here first. I'll big up Frankie. There you go. So Frankie's saying if there's if there's a release clause of 60 million quid in Gordon's contract for 60 million quid, you might as well just say that's done. That's happening. That's if Diaz goes. But for me, we need a striker. If Liverpool are looking, what would you do? Would you wait? Hang on, let me just get this super chat up. Big up We Chat Football in the house as well. It could be a similar price to Rodrigo. Big up We Chat Football, talking about Anthony Gordon there. Much love to you, man. Big up everyone super chatting as well. Much love to you guys. Big up Colin's been a member for 26 months. Big up to you, man. He's saying keep Darwin, you know. I don't see it, man. I think he will leave, but big up being a member for so long, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, Saint Fish is definitely going on, Ali. Saint Fish is definitely going on. Yeah, we've read big up Harley. Big up, we've read that one. Big up Harley. Big up Red Gaz in the chat as well. How legit is the Mateta news? I don't know. I don't know how legit any of this news is. This is the problem. This is the problem. I don't know how legit any of this is. 8 million for Gordon is a joke. Instead, spend that on Walton and play some. You've got a fascination, Liverpool 67, of Liverpool getting a DM. Liverpool have a DM. Man, Liverpool have a DM. Liverpool are not going to buy a midfielder. No chance. Yeah. I don't think Walton's much better than Gravenberch. Sesko, big up Charlie, says Diaz and Sesko will be a monster for us. Strong as F, can keep the ball and can also strike a ball very well. He can. There's no doubt about that. I think Sesko's a lot better than people give him credit for. A lot of people, you know, I think he, you know. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Jamie Ekitike, centre forward, Mateta 25 for Fana, left wing. Possibility if we sell Diaz. I think Isak has said yes to us already. That's why they're allowing Newcastle. This could be a thing, right? Let's go on this, yeah? Let's go on this. What 1 minute motivation is saying here, big up to you. I think Isak has said yes to us already. That's why we are allowing Newcastle to get their replacements first while we sell Nunez. Now, this is something I've heard a lot of people say and talk about already. I think I've seen some Liverpool journalists talk about this as well. The fact that Liverpool haven't gone heavy. Big up Sylvester, man. Big up Kathy in the chat as always as well. Why Liverpool haven't gone straight in for a striker when we know we need one? What are Liverpool waiting for? Are Liverpool waiting just for the fact that Isak is their guy? Like I think Lauren put it earlier. Like Fabrizio and David Ornstein and everyone, it's Liverpool's number one target. They dream of having Alexander Isak. That's their number one guy. Liverpool have been linked with every striker under the sun all summer. All summer. And none of them have come true. Liverpool are linked to Ekitike. Now he's going to Newcastle by the look of it. Liverpool don't even look like they care that Ekitike is going to Newcastle. There's no reports coming out that Liverpool are upset that they didn't get Ekitike. They can't believe Newcastle. No, nothing. Not even making a challenging bid for him. They so far have not made zero bid for Sesko. The only person talking about Sesko to Liverpool in reality is his agent. Yeah. Liverpool have not made a play for Osimhen. Osimhen's got a release clause, ladies and gentlemen. Osimhen would be easy to do. Napoli couldn't even argue it. Napoli are very hard to do business with. But because Osimhen's got a release clause, Napoli can't do anything about it. Liverpool just have to pay the money. They're not interested in Osimhen. João Pedro was available for 50 million quid. Yeah? Probably cheaper than most of the strikers on the market. Liverpool weren't interested in João Pedro. You had Liam Delap for 30 million quid. Liverpool weren't interested in Liam Delap either. And Liam Delap would have been homegrown. Not interested in him either. So, if Liverpool are not interested in all these strikers, not made any bid for them, although we've been linked to them all, it leaves one. It just leaves one. It leaves Alexander Isak. And like one mate in motivation is saying here, maybe there's been conversations behind the scenes. Maybe Liverpool are letting Newcastle get their players in. Because here's another one as well. Newcastle wouldn't go out there publicly to the press and say, we're buying Ekitike to replace Isak. What would they say to the press instead? Positive news. They would go, oh yeah, we're buying Ekitike to play with Isak. That's what they'd say publicly. You can't imagine Newcastle informing the media, oh yeah, we're going to buy Ekitike to replace Isak. They wouldn't. You know, this is business. They have to keep things positive. So they tell the media, no, we're looking at Ekitike to play alongside Alexander Isak. Meanwhile, Liverpool are trying to sell Darwin Nunez and have not bid for any other striker. So if you put two and two together, it's like Liverpool are waiting for Newcastle to do their business, go out and do their shopping, go out and get Ekitike and then players in, and then Liverpool make their move. And that's what Liverpool might do. Liverpool might wait till Ekitike has gone to Newcastle, yeah, and then they put £130 million on the table at Newcastle. Because what are Newcastle going to do? Are they going to turn down £130 million for Alexander Isak when they've just bought an Ekitike and a Langer and stuff like that, and they still need a centre back? You know, I don't know. But what might happen is that Isak might go, you know what? That's a very good bid from Liverpool. 130 million is a nice bid. And I now want to go to Liverpool. I would like a chance to go to Liverpool. You've just been offered big money. You play the nasty card. I don't like teams doing it, but you play the nasty card. You bully Newcastle a little bit. You go, here you go, it's 130 million quid, you know, and, you know, you leave it in Newcastle in Isak's hands and you see what happens. But it's a dangerous game. It's an extremely dangerous game. Walter Mende, I believe, is going to become a Bayern Munich player. I believe he's on his way to be a Bayern Munich player. So even he's out of the limelight. Walter Mende is off for Bayern Munich, apparently. Hi, Jamie. I hope you're well, mate. I think Isak is a waste of money when we could get two strikers instead of just Isak. And that's what I was just saying just now. I don't think Isak's a waste of money. I think he's the second best striker in probably Europe at the moment. But there could be a thing. We do have to look. I think as a fan base, we do have to acknowledge, yeah, that there's a hole in our striking department at the moment because we have lost Diogo Jota. Let's be serious. Let's be serious here for a minute and think about it a little bit. Jota leaving has left. Jota passing away has left a big hole in our team and everything, and in our forward line, right in our forward line. I just, it's going to be hard for Liverpool just to buy one striker unless they're thinking that a second striker could be within our team itself. You know, like a Diaz or a Gakpo or a Salah or a Verts or something like that. Like, that's the second striker. That's the second striker. Because, if I think we all agree that Jota probably wasn't being sold this summer. I think Jota would have stayed at Liverpool Football Club for another year or two, and Liverpool would have got their striker in they wanted, and Jota would have been second choice. But unfortunately, events have happened, guys, and he's not with us anymore. So we don't have that spare striker in our team right now. And I know a lot of people say Jayden Downs. Jayden Downs played a handful of games in his Liverpool career. He got injured all last season. I don't even think he's fit yet. So he can't be second choice next season. I think Liverpool are going to make a lot of money through sales. I think a lot of money's going to come into the football club before the end of the summer. And I think Liverpool are looking for... Isak could be the one they're looking for, and they're just waiting. There could be stuff. We don't know what happens behind the scenes. There could be conversations behind the scenes already where, Liverpool, like someone said earlier, are waiting for Newcastle to do their business. And we're waiting to sell Darwin Nunez. And once Newcastle have done their business, Liverpool might pounce. Liverpool might pounce on the whole Isak thing. You might see a few days after, if Newcastle do buy Ekitike, we've got to say this because we don't know the fact yet. But if Newcastle are successful and they do buy Hugo Ekitike, I do believe we see a world where Liverpool make a bid for Isak a few days after. I don't know what you guys in the chat think. I think Liverpool go to Newcastle and I think they'll break every British record there is to break to try and buy Alexander Isak, because I'm looking at the landscape of it right now, the footballing landscape. Arne Slot wants a striker to play for the next 3 to 5 years in that position. And who's it going to be? I just don't see it being a Mateta. I don't see it being an Nkunku. I can see it be, unfortunately, I can see it being a Benjamin Sesko. Yeah, I just, I don't know. Isak makes the only choice, man. Isak makes the only choice for me. But if we do go after a Benjamin Sesko, then we're buying a Mateta or an Nkunku with him to make the same price as in one Isak. Big up Noor says 2 of Isak, Sesko, Nkunku and Penda, Suarez, Mateta, and I can't pronounce that last name. That's the geezer a lot of people are talking about right now. Is that from Leon? Could be. It could be Noor. It's either one Isak or 2 strikers. That's what we're going to buy, in my opinion. We're either going to buy 1 striker in Isak. If we don't buy Isak, we'll go buy 2 that cover the same cost as Isak, in my opinion. It's interesting stuff, man. But we've got to think about the years ahead, not just next summer. Because next summer, like a Mateta, for me, is not leading the line for Liverpool for the next 2 years, next 3 years. Benjamin Sesko, I can actually see leading the line for Liverpool for the next 3 years, next 3 or 4 years. I know that people are not going to like that, but I can actually see that being the case. Nkunku, I can't see Nkunku or Mateta, as I just said, leading the line for Liverpool for the next 2 or 3 seasons. Liverpool go buy big in a striker because that striker is going to be our main guy for the years to come. That striker is going to be our number 1 guy under Arne Slot for the next 3 to 5 years. So if you're thinking who's going to be there as Liverpool's main striker for the next 3 to 5 years, and for me, it's Benjamin Sesko or Alexander Isak in this market. In this market, in the way the strikers are today, that is probably the 2 that Liverpool will be looking at. And again, if Liverpool buy Benjamin Sesko, he will be number 1 choice and number 1 striker for Liverpool for years to come. But I can see Liverpool also buying an Nkunku for like 30 million quid from Chelsea. I can see that being the case. You know, I don't know. I am confused by this all. Big up Urim with the super as well. He says, we want Isak only. I'm hoping we do, man, because Isak will be beautiful. I ain't gonna lie. It'll be beautiful. By the way, whoever we buy, I'll be giving him my full support and everything as a Liverpool fan. Big up Castori says, the perfect scenario for us, we keep Diaz and Ibu, regardless of contract, sign Guayi, get Isak, and that geezer, a striker. Too much change is not good. I think I've got everyone's super chats now. Sorry, on this new system, it doesn't save your super chat, so you have to go through. I have to just be alert that they come up. Sam's has cursed us. We're going to get Sesko. I don't know. It could happen. I don't know. I'm hoping not. Because I want Isak. Big up Joshua as well with a big super. He says, do you remember I post that things will happen with Isak at the start of August? That is very true, Joshua. Very true. We're not far away from there now. Jamie's the director of football, Richard Hughes. What's this? What we got here? Elliot, 50 million. Joel Quanzo, 35 million. Keller, 18 million. Simicast, 15 million. Nunez, 60. Diaz, 70. Doak, 30. Morton, 12. Total, 260. Verts, 100. Frimpong, 30. Kirkes, 40. Isak, 125. Gay, 40. Rodrigo, 80 equals 375. Outgoing. Mo, 270. Money spend net. I hear equals £105 net. Yeah. Yeah, I did read at the beginning of the summer when I told everyone we're going to legitimately have a big transfer window this summer that Liverpool are looking around 100 to 110, 120 million net profit from this summer, even with buys and sells. So that could happen. That could easily happen. I do see a lot of players leaving still. I think Elliott will get a new club. We know Quanta and Kelleher have already left. I do believe Nunez will be sold. Diaz, maybe if the money's right. Doak, if someone comes in for 25 million, I think Doak's gone. I think Morton will go as well. So it's interesting times, man. Big up a man, honesty, as always. Much love. He says, break in. Here, Newcastle are closing in on a deal for Hugo Ekitike for around 80 million euros, according to the reliable Julian Lons. Ekitike has been linked with a move to a number of clubs, including Liverpool. And this is the thing. Again, now, linked. All these strikers have been linked to Liverpool, but Liverpool have not done anything about it. Why? What are Liverpool waiting for, guys? Are Liverpool just waiting for the Isak transfer? Is that who they're waiting for? West Ham are interested in Liverpool duo Harvey Elliott and Tyler Morton. Yeah, I've seen that. I think Harvey Elliott, by the way, would be fantastic at West Ham. I think that'd be a great move for him. Tyler Morton as well, baby. Look, 60 million for both of them. Let's talk. Do you know what I mean? 60 million for both of them. Let's talk. Right, what are we doing for likes around here, guys? What are we doing for likes around here? We've had almost 400 people in the building. Got 383 people in the building right now. 164 likes, guys. So make sure you're hitting the fun button. Let's at least get to 200 likes if we can. Mods in the chat. Make sure you're telling everyone hit that like button. Get them hitting that likes. I'd pay 50 million defo for him. For Harvey Elliott, yeah, definitely. We need to be careful with squad depth in terms of sales. We do Sylvester. As the pills worn off for John W. Henry. No one's going to pay 150 million. We'll pay less than that. Is that for... Is that... Yeah, I think 130 gets it done. In the words of Hooks, big up my mates. The stars are aligning. Big up Nora says, but Jamie, wouldn't the club have already shut down the Isak stuff by now if there wasn't a real chance? I think there is a chance. I think I've even seen some Newcastle the Newcastle media basically saying like they're a bit confused why they're going after Ekitike when they have Isak there, because Ekitike, as we've seen, is going to cost 80 million euros, 60 odd million quid. That's a lot of money for a person who's not going to be your number one striker when you've arguably got the second best striker in Europe at the moment at your football club. You know, I just think that's a lot of money. So maybe Liverpool and Newcastle, they've already, you know, they're just waiting. Liverpool are going to just sit there and wait. They're sitting there and waiting like a leopard in a tree. Big up to Sam. That's what Liverpool are doing right now. The whole leopard in the tree thing, yeah? And as soon as Ekitike has gone to Liverpool, Liverpool might pounce. You know, next week, guys, could be interesting. Liverpool could make a bid, man, next week, you know. They could just go all out. Jamie Liverpool waiting for the Saudi League transfer window to open on the 16th. That they do. I believe that's Wednesday, if I'm right. Yeah, the Saudi window opens on Wednesday. And I can tell you right now, they're going to be heavily involved in that window with Liverpool. I think we could see them come for Diaz and Darwin on Wednesday. Keep your eyes open for that. But I'm not sure if this exact stuff, as it could be copium, like Cop Class says. I'm not sure, man. I'm going to go on way my football club is, and a sloth in the tree. We're slow. Is that what you're saying? I'm going to be a bit pessimistic here, guys. I'm sorry, but I can see Liverpool going for Sesko and a Sesko and a Mateta in this transfer window. Again, you've got to remember, Arne Slot will want a striker. His main, like, if you buy, there's certain positions, yeah. If you go and spend big money on a goalkeeper, it's because that goalkeeper is going to be your number one goalkeeper for the years to come. That's why Liverpool spent a world record fee at the time on Alisson Becker, yeah. Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool spent at the time a world record fee for Virgil van Dijk because they knew he was going to be their centre-back for at least the next 10 years, yeah? Same with Alisson in goal. With their striking position, Liverpool know that they want a striker that's going to be their number one striker for at least 5 or 6 years, yeah? For at least 5 or 6 years. And if you look at the striker market out there, who we've been linked with, especially in the last 24 hours, the only one who makes sense out of all that, apart from Isak himself, is Benjamin Sesko, because he's 23 years of age or whatever he is. And if Liverpool believe he can become a superstar, Liverpool will buy him. I'm just telling you guys right now. If Liverpool believe Benjamin Sesko can be a superstar, they will buy him. All right? And then he's your striker for 10 years. Easy. Easy, because he's age. If Liverpool go, know what? Fuck it. We're just buying Isak. Isak at 26. You know, he's your striker for the next 5 to 6 years. So they've got their position sorted. You're spending big money on a position where you want that player to, you trust that player to be a success and be there for the years to come. I just don't see Liverpool going to buy strikers like the Nkunkus of this world and all that would only be backup strikers. They're not going to be first team strikers. That's why I do think this Benjamin Sesko stuff could be the real deal, guys. And I think we have to look at it. We have to look at it. What's David Ornstein saying? What's Ornstein saying? I'll have to get Twitter up, won't I? Hang on. Like, I always wanted Ekitike if we couldn't get Isak, yeah? That was my number one choice. But if Ekitike is going to Newcastle, then Right, what are you guys sending me? Right, let me have a look here. Let me have a look. Osherman, I don't think Liverpool are going for. I don't think Osherman's a candidate. So Newcastle United are working on a deal to sign Hugo Ekitike. This is 1 minute ago from David Ornstein. Not yet agreed or close to being done, but talks continue over a potential deal for 75 million euros forward, a long-term target for Newcastle and other Premier League clubs. Newcastle submitted an official bid today with Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike, says Fabrizio. David Ornstein saying they're working out a deal. It looks like Ekitike could be close to going to. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm a bit concerned by all this. Ain't gonna lie. Big up Dean in the house as well. For the amount of time Sesko has been competing with the best in Europe, he's not shown a lot. Yes, he's young, but his name hasn't been out there for years now, making headlines. For me, not good. Not for me, he's not good, but not for Liverpool. He's good, but not for Liverpool. I hear that. Did I miss any supers? Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. Mateta is a replacement for Jota. Could be Cafe. That could be it. That could be one. Tony's saying I think Ekitike will end up at Liverpool. The thing is, the problem is, Tone, Liverpool got to act. Like, if Liverpool want Ekitike, and as you say, I think Liverpool probably were interested in him, but if they want him, they got to act. This is the problem, man. See, this is the problem with everything going right. All these bids going in. Liverpool are linked and apparently like all these players, but they've not made a bid. They've not attempted to bid for anyone right now. Ekitike is now talking to Newcastle. So if Liverpool like him as much as the media have been saying that, Liverpool really like Ekitike, they rate Ekitike, Isak's their number one choice, but they really like Ekitike. Then Liverpool have got to act and act quickly. Because Ekitike, if it was between Newcastle and Liverpool, Ekitike is going to Liverpool. That ain't a problem, yeah? But if he's waiting, if he's not, I don't know. It sounds a bit weird to me that we're not making our move. We're not making our move at all. Liverpool hijack. Hang on, I'll get that in a minute. Julian are on super agent. Al Barrett is currently in Newcastle for 90 Ekitike deal. See, this is what I'm saying. Who's Lee Ryder? Toronto Reds. Who's Lee Ryder, man? I don't know who that is. Liverpool hijack any deal with Ekitike like they did with Diaz and Spurs if they feel that Isak is off the cards. Right. That's a good point. That say Liverpool don't hijack the Ekitike deal. Does that mean that Liverpool feel like they can get Isak, guys? Put yes or no in the chat. Put a yes or no in the chat. If Liverpool don't hijack this Ekitike deal, does that mean they feel like Liverpool are go to act on I'll go for Isak? Let me know. Liverpool are set to act quickly to secure a deal for Mark Gay, with England defender expected to immediately replace Ibrahim Konate, who appears close to joining Real Madrid. Yeah, I think that happened. Lee Ryder is a Newcastle journalist. Guys, whatever Lee Ryder's put, find a link for me and put it in the live chat. You guys are all saying yeah? Once we sell Darwin, I hear you. So Liverpool don't go. If Liverpool are not in the hunt, If Liverpool are not in the hunt for Ekitike and they don't make a move for Ekitike, now Newcastle are making a move for him, surely that means Liverpool. Surely that remains. Yeah, sure. Hang on. So this is from Lee Ryder, who everyone was just talking about here. Big Ant, who just sent me this on DM. There remains caution at Newcastle given the PSR restrictions behind the scenes and the huge price tag for Ekitike. The stance from Newcastle Chiefs is that the players could be sold in order to help raise funds for the star, who has an £86 million release clause. From Ornstein's article, the obvious follow-up question is what this means for Isak's future, and the instances that Newcastle want to boast both among their frontline options. How Eddie Howe would keep that pair plus Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes, Anthony Elanga happy is unclear, and the finances involved in retaining them all will stretch Newcastle's PSR. But those are inevitable problems to have. So, let me read that again. Lee Ryder is basically saying, and he's Newcastle, he's a Newcastle journalist. There remains caution in Newcastle given the PCR restrictions behind the scenes and the huge price tag for Ekitike. The stance of Newcastle Chiefs is that the players that could be sold in order to help raise funds, David Ornstein follows it up by saying the obviously follow-up question is that remains for Isak's future, and the instance is that Newcastle want to boast both of them along the front line. However, Eddie Howe would have to keep the pair happy, plus Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes and Anthony Elanga. And it's unclear with the finances involved in retaining them all will stretch Newcastle's PSR issues. There you go. There you go. Interesting. Interesting. Toon G says Liverpool sign Whistle. Toon G, I'm going to take it to Newcastle fan. Big up, man. Isak has 3 years left. He ain't leaving Newcastle, says Toon G. We'll see. We'll see. You might be right. Question, Jamie, have you seen the Florian Wirtz goodbye video? I have not, honestly. I will have a look at it. I'll try and find it. Newcastle held talks over Hugo Ekitike over a price after discussions during a trip to Germany. Say sources at Frankfurt. Oh, hang on, where is that? It's gone. Say sources at Frankfurt. Where's that gone? Say sources at Frankfurt and nothing confirmed from Newcastle end at this stage. This is interesting, man. Isak and Ekitike as a forward, Elanga and Gordon on the wings, Tonali and Bruno in the pivot. Who plays the 10 though? So 4-4-2. So that'd have to be 4-4-2, yeah? So who's the creative? That's the problem Newcastle have got. They're sacrificing a midfielder for a striker in the way Newcastle play. They'd have to play 4-4-2. Like just old-fashioned 4-4-2. Elanga and Anthony Gordon as left and right-sided midfielders. Tonali and Bruno in the middle too. And then 2 up front. That can work. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think they'll get Champions League playing with 4-4-2. You know, I think they need that extra midfielder. Yeah, M90. Yeah, we're still say out, man. Don't worry. N90, do you follow me on Twitter? If you follow me on Twitter, just DM me, man. We're still saying out. If you don't follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle's in the down below. Joel Linton benched. Yeah, Joel Linton's their main midfielder, man. Yeah, Joel Linton is their muscle in their midfield. You know, I'm not sure they're going to sacrifice a midfield for a striker. You know, they always play with that 3 across the middle. You know, and their midfield 3 is excellent. Joel Linton, Bruno, and Tonali is as good as it gets in the Premier League, man. Big up 40-year-old Virgil. Apparently, Newcastle will be stretching PSR if they buy Elanga and keep everybody. They bought Elanga and Ekitike. If they buy Ekitike after buying Elanga, and with the wages that everyone's on, they'd be stretching PSR. Yeah, that's what David Ornstein's just said. They'd be stretching their PSR. Yeah, Newcastle's midfield three is an extremely good midfield three, one of the best in the league. It'd be crazy for me to sacrifice a midfielder for a striker. You know, it wouldn't make sense. I don't know what Toon G thinks, but I am sure he thinks that don't make sense either. Sacrificing a striker for a midfielder, because that midfield three of Joe Linton, Bruno, and Tonali is as good as it gets in the league. So sacrificing one of them, yeah. And the way Eddie Howe plays, he plays, he likes to be a defensive-minded team that scores goals as well. So it's going to be interesting. If they can do it, man, Newcastle can do it with Ekitike and that. Big up, man. If they can do it, much love to Newcastle. You know, if they can find a way of doing it and keeping that team, yeah, big up, man. Julian Ron, Super Agent Al Barrett. Yeah, I read that. Do you know, I'm thinking Mateta as a backup would be actually really good, man. Yeah, moving away from that excellent midfield three would be crazy it'd be absolutely crazy for Newcastle to move away from that excellent midfield three for an extra striker. I think Newcastle will struggle next season if they play 4-4-2. It makes no sense, man. It would make no sense. All right, N90, just quote me on Twitter, man, and then I'll get back to you for that way. Just quote me on Twitter. Just say like at my Twitter handle, hi, and then I'll get back to you. Yeah, they're selling Longstaff, which is going to be selling Longstaff will be full profit for them because he's an academy player. That is very true. Look, if Newcastle can pull it off with Isak and Ekitike, big up to him, man, and good luck to him. You know, as I said, I don't like PSR and all that, so I'm not against that. I just want to know what Liverpool are going to do at the end of the day. You know, what would Liverpool do? You know, as I keep saying, we're linked with all these strikers, guys, but we haven't pounced. No, Liverpool have agreed nothing. You know, I'm just reading it here now. No one has actually made a bid for Ekitike apart from Newcastle this summer. And if Liverpool did do personal terms with Ekitike, then why aren't they hijacking this transfer? Because by the sounds of it, Newcastle will go buy him. So why aren't Liverpool hijacking this transfer? If Liverpool want Ekitike that badly, why aren't we hijacking it? Because Ekitike is going to probably cost less than Benjamin Sesko. So do Liverpool just rate Sesko that highly? Is Sesko the one Liverpool wanted all along, and everything else has been a smokescreen? Could be, because Sesko didn't go. Like Arsenal were interested in Sesko apparently, but they turned their attention to Gyökeres real quickly. Liverpool have been linked to all these strikers, and they're linked heavily to Ekitike, and I mean heavily. Where I thought Liverpool would buy Ekitike. That was always my fault. I thought Liverpool would try for Isak. It would become impossible, and then they'll go and buy Ekitike. That is what I thought. Liverpool been speaking to him, keeping him in the back pocket, basically telling him, look, if we can't get him, we're going to come and get you. Stay there. Don't go anywhere. We'll let you know. But now a team, as apparently a top team in the Premier League in Newcastle, have apparently put a bid in for him and desperately trying to get him. So why ain't Liverpool hijacking that deal? Why aren't we hijacking that deal, ladies and gentlemen? That's what I want to know right now. If we wanted him that badly, have we always just wanted Benjamin Sesko and everything's been a smokescreen? Because I'll tell you what, it's starting to feel that way. It's starting to feel that way. The stuff I've been reading online today about Richard Hughes actually really highly rating Benjamin Sesko and thinking he can be the one in the next few years that's going to be an absolute superstar. Maybe Liverpool see something in that we don't. Well, I don't think he's a bad player, obviously. But that's what I'm starting to think now. We are not interested in any other striker. Everything's been a smokescreen. Unless, like my man says there, unless they have got this in the bag and Isak to Liverpool is done and they're just waiting on everyone to sell their players and buy their players and all that. It's the only other thing. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like, Ekitike Newcastle, €80 million personal terms, not an issue. So if we like Ekitike that much, why aren't we hijacking his deal, making a late bid for a player we apparently want? But like Gary says as well, why would we not have bid for Sesko yet? This is another good point. If Liverpool want Sesko that much, why have Liverpool not gone and bought Benjamin Sesko yet or made a bid for him? Now, maybe Liverpool can't actually make a bid for a striker till they sell Darwin Nunez. And that's why Liverpool are trying to get Darwin Nunez off the books, because that frees that space up to go and buy a striker. I don't know. Look, if the whole smoke screen is for Julian Alvarez at Atletico Madrid, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'm here for it. But here's my worry. I don't know if, right, could have Liverpool pivoted now? I spoke about this a few days ago. Could Liverpool have pivoted now? Because of the emotional loss of, obviously, Diogo Jota, who passed away in that freak accident. Has Liverpool's transfer plans actually changed now? And Isak was the main choice, and they were holding out for him. But now, Liverpool need two strikers. Because the tragic incident of Diogo Jota losing his life. Liverpool might have pivoted. Liverpool might be looking at it and now gone, you know what? A Mateta or an Nkunku as backup to Benjamin Sesko. Maybe Liverpool pivoted. Because all this Sesko stuff come up the last 24 hours. There's not been any real Benjamin Sesko stuff linked with Liverpool, any stories of Benjamin Sesko for a long time. And in the last 24 hours, a lot of Benjamin Sesko stuff. So could Liverpool have just changed their plans? Ornstein in his tweet says that Newcastle Ekitike play alongside isn't going anywhere. The problem is, Cam J, is that they're not going to say, like, Newcastle are not going to tell David Ornstein that he's going to replace him, is he? Because that would be bad PR. You know, that would be the only thing I would say there. Good PR-wise is that Newcastle tell the media, yeah, we're after... Like, David Ornstein would be getting hold of Newcastle right now and going, why are you buying Ekitike when you got Isak? Is Isak leaving? Their response to it would be, no, we're getting him to play alongside Isak. Yeah? Because that's good PR. You know, they ain't going to go, right, yeah, Isak's off. So that's why we're buying him. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't always go with that way. You know what I'm saying? It could be many things here. I just don't know what Liverpool got up their sleeves, man. What have Liverpool got up their sleeve? Look, no one saw Verts coming, did they? Let's be truthful here. Did any of us see Florian Wirtz coming to Liverpool? That came out of nowhere, yeah? You know, in Liverpool, we know now that we're talking to him from last season and they were speaking to him in February. So, no, that wasn't an opportunistic signing. Liverpool have been doing their paperwork on Wirtz for over 12 months, yeah, behind the scenes, doing all the work behind the scenes for about a year for him. So, and then pulled the plug and got him. But no one saw it coming. No one knew we was after Wirtz. You know, it's only after when Wirtz comes in is that you learn everything about it. Oh yeah, Liverpool been talking to him since last year. Last season, Liverpool tried to get Wirtz in last season, but it was a no-go, but kept good relationships. And then back in February, Liverpool decided to talk to him again and it going on. So all that happened behind the scenes. No one knew about it. Ornstein didn't know about it. Fabrizio didn't know about it. It only came out when Liverpool bought him. And no one saw it coming. Now, Liverpool might have a striker in mind that hasn't been spoke about, or no one knows. Again, Benjamin Sesko came out of nowhere only the last 24 hours, even mostly today, as this Benjamin Sesko news come out, which makes me start to think, have Liverpool just pivoted in what they want to do because of the death of Diogo Jota? They need two strikers. Let's face it. If we sell Darwin Nunez before we buy a striker, we've got zero strikers. Maybe Liverpool have pivoted that way, guys. Maybe they look at it and think, if Isak was going to cost us 130, 140 million for one striker, we'd still only have one striker if he came to the football club. Maybe Liverpool are looking at it and thinking, that spend that money and buy two strikers. So we got cover, our number one guy, and we got cover. I don't. That's what I'm wondering right now. But that's why I see what Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards have got doing, guys, because I'm not sure, man. Right, guys, put the name of the striker you think Liverpool go buy this summer in the live chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. In the live chat right now, guys, put the name of the striker you believe we will buy this summer. Ant says, let's be honest, if we really wanted Ekitike, he'd be wearing a Liverpool shirt now, exactly. And we'd be hijacking this transfer. You know what I'm saying? When's our second pre-season game? When we go off to Asia, go off to Japan, I believe, next week. I've got two straight in with Isak. Charlie's going for Sesko. Yeah, get the name, guys, of the player you think will be Liverpool striker in the summer. Sesko. Isak, Sesko, Isak, Sesko, Isak and Nkunku, says we chat for Pele, big up Vic. Isak, Sesko, Isak. Katie says no one. Katie, come on. Osher in hijack. Isak. Anime Guru. What's Anime Guru? Mateta, Chris Wood. Rodrigo False 9. It's a shout. Isak, Sesko. Isak and backup. It's Isak and Buermo. No, he's off to May 9. Sesko. A lot of Isak or Sesko by the look of it. Mateta. Katie says, how would I feel if Darwin stayed? No, Darwin's not going to stay. Isak. Am I the only one who don't know what that is? What is that? Amini Guri. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Maybe I don't know who that is. Could be Isak. It will be Gordon Mateta or Sesko and Nkunku. That's what I think. This is what that's what I'm starting to think. I got a feeling it might be Sesko and Nkunku. You know, I'm starting to think it might be Sesko and Nkunku. Hoyland, Isak. I want it to be Isak. Don't get me wrong. I'd love it to be Isak. I don't know. I just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, is he the Marseille striker? Yes, big up, Captain. Now I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Bloody hell, this is moving quick. This is moving quick. Newcastle have now reached a complete verbal agreement with Ekitike's representatives. This is moving quick, man. This is moving extremely quick. Which tells me they've been looking at new. You know, when transfers move this quick, guys, it's because the club and player have been talking for a long time. It's the only reason these transfers move that quickly, because they've been talking for a while. So maybe Newcastle and Ekitike have been talking for longer than we thought. I think Nkunku as a backup striker would be fine, you know. Big up Friday Cold One. Rodrigo's a shout, you know, because Rodrigo can play number 9 because he played there when he was younger. Yeah, they're briefing it, so it means they're close, exactly. Isak by the end of the week. If we have Isak here, we go by the end of the week, man. Yeah. I'll be bringing the bald cap back out. Don't worry about that. The sunglasses and bald cap will come back out if Liverpool buy Isak, guys. I'm telling you. I will stream in it every week for a month if we buy Isak. Do you know what I'm saying? Every month. I will go on other people's channels in my bald cap and sunglasses if we buy him. No word of a lie. We got 25 million insurance of Jota. Yeah, I believe we did. Chelsea stopped the seconds. We're not Arsenal. If Ekitike plays with us, that means Gordon makes way. Yeah. I mean, I just don't know how. I just don't see. I don't see. I see Alanga. Alanga can play in that 4-4-2 because I believe Alanga can play wing back as well. I just don't think Anthony Gordon can play in a 4-4-2. I think you need to play further up the pitch. So Anthony Gordon might be the make weight, you know. It could be Ekitike. Do you know what? It could be Benjamin Sesko and Anthony Gordon. They could be the two attackers we buy. They could literally be the two. This is very, very interesting. You need dominoes to fall, yeah? Everyone needs, you need dominoes to fall. So a domino will fall. It all comes from the Jokeres. Do you know where this all starts? It comes from Jokeres going to Arsenal, man. It goes from Jokeres going to Arsenal. It opens up the floodgates because all now teams are looking at who's else out there. So Newcastle want a striker, so they're looking at Ekitike because he suits the way Newcastle play in that counter-attack or transitional football. Yeah. So then that drops another domino. Then that leaves another one for Liverpool. So Liverpool are looking around, going, "So who else is available?" This is interesting. The next few weeks are going to be quite crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's going to be a crazy time in the next couple of weeks. Crazy time. But we're hunting down a striker, man. We're hunting down a striker. Look, God, I'm going to say this right now. If Liverpool can get Isak and Wirtz in the same summer, that might be the best summer ever. I ain't going to lie. Like, how do you compete with that summer window? If Liverpool's summer window is Mamardashvili, Kirkes, Frimpong, Wirtz, and Isak, yeah, that might be the best window Liverpool have ever had in this era of football, in the Premier League era. That summer window is madness. Wirtz and Isak in the same summer. Kirkes, Frimpong, Mamardashvili. Mark Gahey, as Malcolm says. And Mark Gahey looks like he can come to Liverpool next as well. Jay, you not heard that apparently Saudi journo said Al Hilali and Al Nassr got 800 million transfer budget between them. Fucking hell. Well, they're definitely going to go for a Darwin or a Diaz, man. Still potential Rodrigo for final if Diaz leaves. Well, the Saudi window opens in January, and if they got all this money like they say they got, they could get him, man. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Woodman. Big up Woodman, by the way. Woodman actually played all right on yesterday as well. Pings the ball back nicely, by the way. Good third choice goalkeeper there by Liverpool. Good third choice goalkeeper. I think the next 2 weeks are going to be extremely busy in the transfer world, guys. I think Liverpool there's going to be some fun to add in the next 2 weeks. If Ekitike makes his move, I see if Liverpool got the guts to put out a big bid for Alexander Isak. Even if he's not for sale, even if Newcastle come out and do say, look, Isak's not for sale, we've bought Ekitike to play alongside Isak, yeah? Let's see how long he's not for sale for if Liverpool whack down £130 million quid on their table. Let's see how much he's not for sale then. And let's also see if Alexander Isak kicks up a storm. Because Alexander Isak might go, you know what? That's a big transfer fee you've just put down. I'm interested. You want me? You've just put that down. He might talk to Newcastle and go, you know what? I want to go to Liverpool. I want to play for Liverpool. Let me go. They just gave you a good fee for him. That's be bastards. Look, Liverpool are not usually bastards, yeah? We try to play everything by the book, yeah? That's be bastards, right? Let Ekitike go to Newcastle. Let him do it, yeah? Let that happen, yeah? And then do the biggest bastard move you can do, yeah? You know it's going to get rejected, yeah? Liverpool know it's going to get rejected, but you're going to make Isak think. Isak's going to look at that and go, whoa, Liverpool Football Club just put in a massive world record bid for me, yeah? A British record bid, yeah? You're telling me he's not going to think about leaving? Yeah, that's what Liverpool should do. Let's be a bastard. Bring back the bastardry. That's what I say. Bring back the bastardry of Liverpool Football Club. Let's be bastards. We're never usually we're too nice. Let's be bastards. Let's be bastards, guys. Hashtag let's be bastards. That's what it is, yeah? That's what I want to see going now. Hashtag let's be bastards. Let's do it. Let's hope it's true, man. Let's hope it's true. Remember, Coutinho wasn't for sale, Jay, until 140 million arrived from Barcelona. Exactly. Big up Captain Sal in the chat as well. Been a while, Captain Sal. I hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, let's be a little bit of a bastard for one time only, and then we'll go back to being our nice selves. We'll go back being to our nice selves, yeah? Let's do that. But guys, I'm going to leave it there because we've been going 2 hours now and there's not much more to talk about. Otherwise, we're just rabbiting on about the same thing constantly. Big up to everyone joining me today as it's bastard time. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's bastard time. Much love everyone joining me. Thank you very much. It's been an excellent stream. And let's hope the Isak rumours happen and we go and make a big bid for him next week. But guys, I'll be back tomorrow with more transfer news and goings on, and we might, who knows what we're going to talk about. But yeah, big up to everyone. Much love. Thank you very much for being here, guys. And guys, make sure you're enjoying yourselves this week as well. The weather's going to be beautiful. Get out there, go and touch some grass and enjoy the sun as well. I'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever, in the evening, whatever it is you're doing around the world, guys. Much